lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, not fucking likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running shit right, see.
Thank you, Archer. Thanks for the light, bud. That being said, strangers don't know if they're real or fake because they kind of look real. And that was the whole point when I got my implants, is I wanted them to be a little saggy and look natural. And just, I was always used to having big boobs. And when they're natural, you don't care. There's not that judgment. You can't control how big your natural boobs are. But the fact that now I have implants and they don't understand that they were naturally already kind of a little large and then I gained weight on top of it, it just puts that like bullet on your back. Like, they probably think that
Does she really think when she gained weight it all just went to her tits and none of it went anywhere else? It just all went to Crystal's tits and she's like, see, I'm not fat anywhere else. I just have fat boobs.
have like 1,200 cc's of full saline in my tits when that's not the case. So that's what I mean by that. And it's just, it's not their business. I don't like people knowing.
Then don't tell them. No, she was the one that brought it up as an excuse to why she was reading as overweight. So why even tell them? Like, you don't need to tell them. They know. Trust me, they already know.
Sorry I didn't do captions. I really normally do. I'm just in a hurry because Christian's on his way home and I got to go do the 5-minute dash. So forgive me, but if that kind of puts some in.
All right.
I look like such a hot mess today, but I want to clarify.
Let me just read this caption. She writes, this is at the start. She writes, my anxiety says hell no, but the boss bitch in me wants to look her in the eyes and have her watch me achieve all my goals after having 4 kids. Or maybe the empath in me just wants a genuine apology so I can move past it. Crystal, this girl fucking owes you nothing. Grow the fuck up. Like, am I the only one getting really infuriated by this? Like, it annoys me. I don't know. Anyways, we'll go down to the girl. This is what she did, though. So this is where I had the biggest problem. First of all, she posted the BMI thing. It says her weight is 144.6 pounds, all right? And it's saying overweight in her app. Obviously, it's going to show overweight in her app because, like I said, it's, you know, the breast actually would play some part in it because it's just height versus weight. And then, like, and it only has, it's like in the middle of the overweight range, like lose a couple of kilos, that would be gone. It's not like it's not like they're saying, oh my God, you're so morbidly obese, you need to lose 20 pounds. Like if you just lost 5 pounds, it would probably put you back into that weight thing. But I'm guessing when they've done the scale with the other one, she probably was only slightly over. It's probably slightly over. At the end of the day, it's still in the overweight range. That is what that girl's job is to do, is to just advise her of that. Like, what do we want to do? We want to move your body fat percentage down. You know, like where, I don't know. But anyways, she posts a picture of herself and she's in her leggings and she's like, make it make sense. So I think it's supposed to be, you know, showing that she's thin, she just has big boobs, like I look good. You know, it doesn't make sense that you call me overweight. You can actually see, you know, and I'm not saying fat. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying fat, but you can definitely see in her arms, in this picture, that she has gained weight. Like you can see, you know, her arms are a bit bigger. And like what people don't realize, like, you know, when you gain weight and you might only gain like 3 kilos, that is so minuscule over the entirety of your body. You know, you don't even realize it. Like, I could probably gain 15 kilos and not look that different, which is like 30 pounds. I could easily gain 20 pounds and you guys probably wouldn't tell that much of a difference because it's just so slight. So I feel like she's just I don't know, totally overreacting. Anyways, so then she puts up this text. I'm not going to put it on the screen because they, like yesterday I did the Alison ones on the screen and YouTube did not like it. I'm just reading this, sorry. Anyways, her friend Candace writes, okay, I'm sorry she was a complete asshole. Don't let the words of a shitty individual affect all the progress you've made and things you've overcome. You're insanely gorgeous with an amazing body and no way you're obese or unhealthy. You're one of the healthiest people I know and I'm so proud of you for overcoming your demons and creating a body that you are so proud of. Keep going, you little rock star. I'm sorry, did we even hear, like, let me know if I'm wrong here, but did anyone say that she was obese? I thought the girl just put her in the overweight range, not the obese range. So I don't know. That's kind of weird. But anyway, she puts up this girl's text and she's like, thanks for always having my back and walking out with me. I'm sure you gave a dirty look for me as I avoided all eye contact. Crystal, fight your own fucking battles. Like, you always have everybody fighting your battles. Why? Her friend is a saint. Lol, what? Yeah. But she's like, you know, you're insanely gorgeous with an amazing body. She has to have those people like fluff her. Like, no, don't think that. And that's what her problem was. She went into this thing and the girl didn't fluff her like she thought that she would. But this is what shits me. She blasts this girl and puts her on her story, like a picture of the girl, and was like, this was the worker that was rude to me. So, and then like, you know, tags her and it's tagged Amped Fitness Altamont. I don't even know if that's like what it's called or whatever, but you know, it tags this girl. This girl's obviously pretty fit. You can kind of tell by, like, you can only see like the top up, but you can kind of tell by someone's like face and stuff. The girl was like a manager, so she didn't lose her job. But I think that's exactly what Crystal was trying to get. Like, she's trying to do this power thing, because the way she worded it to, like, afterwards, she's like, oh, you know, the guy said this to me, like the owner of the gym had contacted her. And of course he has to contact you. They're probably all sitting in the staff room right now talking about what a stupid twat she is. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're going to step in and be like, oh, you know, I'm really sorry this happened, and they're going to offer this and that, because she's blasting them all over social media to like thousands and thousands of people. So of course they're going to try and do damage control. Like, I'd do the same thing, but I'd be like, this girl's a twat, but, you know, we have to do this because of whatever reason. Like, as if that boss that actually knows the girl, like he's hired her as a manager in his gym. They're seeing each other every day. They have like a friendship, obviously, because, well, you know, some sort of a relationship on friendly terms. He's not going to be like, oh, this bimbo with fake boobs came in and she was crying because she got told she was overweight. She said it was because of her boobs, and, you know, don't forget I've had 4 children. Like, you know, I should get goody points on the BMI scale. Like, it doesn't, no. But anyway, so this girl, she's posted a picture of this girl. She's got the tag of the gym in there, so they know what the gym is. And then she's done that for a reason, because she's like, oh, I'm a non-confrontational person, so I didn't say anything, because she knows her followers will go over there and pull this woman to shreds, like rip this woman to shreds. She knows that. That's why she posted it, because this is what Crystal does. She's too gutless to ever do anything herself. She has to get her followers to do it. So this person's comment on there saying, by changing lives, did you mean demeaning another human being? By touching someone's life, did you mean putting false information in their head? It's not false information. The machine literally said she was overweight. It reads all of her body things. So what if it's a kilo? At the end of the day, like, there's no, oh, well, it says you're overweight, but you're not really, because, like, you're in that leeway where it's not really acceptable for us to tell you that, you know? And then she's like, you should be ashamed of yourself. You aren't in it for the aspect of helping a single human being. You're in it to make money, bully, and harass those trying to change their own lives. How the fuck is that bullying? Like, oh, this chick, simply a boy mum. Like, grow up, dude. Like, if you have to go around and fight Crystal's battles, then you are pathetic. Anyway, it says, not the kind of person I would want to see as a face for a fairly new place, let alone any place. And the next one says, wow, keep deleting your comments when they're talking about one of your employees being disrespectful and rude. Y'all are not above treating anyone with respect or being kind. Now, this is one thing I'll tell you now. For someone like me that used to go hard for Crystal and defend Crystal, I understand, like, these people are going, they're like, oh, you know, Crystal said this, Crystal said that. But Crystal is probably the most manipulated person that you will ever come across. Like, Crystal will flat out lie, manipulate, leave out truths so that you have her back. And then even when you catch her out in a lie, she just like avoids even talking about it. Like, there were times where Crystal would tell me something, and then I've posted it, and then I would catch her out in a lie, and it would be on the page, because that obviously people have submitted this lie, and she wouldn't even address it with me, because she'd be like, oh, like, she'd know she was caught out. every time. There was a number of times where I had caught her telling untruths or leaving things out or embellishing stories. And so none of these girls that are on this gym page have a fucking clue what actually went down. None of us do. We only have what Crystal has said. I can assume what went on in the other part, but none of us know. None of these girls know. Imagine going on there with no proof and ripping another gym to shreds just because some random person decided to post that they were horrendous because they told her the truth. All right. So I'll read this out. She deleted her last post because I commented. Is this Crystal? Which post was it? I'll just read this out. So she says, I originally posted a long version of this video last Friday and tagged the gym and this unfortunate event had happened. Why are you I'm so non-confrontational, but you tagged the gym to tell them. That's not it's gutless. That's just gutless. She could have easily said, can I speak to the manager, and addressed it at the time. Like, you don't go run home crying with your tail between your legs, and then have a big cry, and then send all your followers to do it for you. You know what I mean? She's like, so she obviously wanted him to know, and she's like, the CEO messaged me personally to ask if he could talk to me. He spent an hour on the phone with me, not only apologising for what happened, but also going above and beyond to share bits of his past, why he started this gym and who he strives to be. What his employee did wasn't directly his fault, but he took full accountability for it. He was a genuine, kind person, and I didn't want my post to ultimately punish him by scaring people away. That's exactly what you wanted. And then you realise that you blew it totally out of proportion and that you acted like an ass. So then you're going back for damage control because you realise that you're an asshole. She was a genuine, kind person. He was a genuine, kind person, and I didn't want my post to ultimately punish him for scaring people away. He assured me that he would keep my concerns in mind when training employees and assure that it didn't happen again. I'm resharing without the tags and previous comments because even though I don't want his gym punished, the message is still very important, and I need advice from you all. I ask that you please don't comment anything rude or reach out to him if you saw my previous video and already know the gym. I'll be explaining more on why I need your opinion and taking a poll in my story. Like, okay, so now that she's talked to the guy, she's like, ask you that you please don't comment anything rude or reach out to them if you saw my previous video and you know the gym. Why didn't you say that in the first video, Crystal? If that was the case, why wouldn't you say that in the first video? I don't understand that. Like, obviously that was her intention in the first post, and now she just knows she's an ass, so that's why she's done that. This was the original caption, so she posted again with the original caption, so she deletes it and then reposts it so people know what she's talking about. I don't feel like I properly expressed myself in this video because I was so emotional and worked up. I'm not upset that the chart says I'm overweight because I'm used to that. That's what you're upset about. The chart says you're overweight and you're upset about it. I feel more upset how it seemed like she didn't take the time to get to know me, my daily habits, and judge me off a chart without knowing what my weight has something I have struggled with since puberty. Why does she need to do that though? Like I said before, they'll be like, oh, well, you're 8 points over your BMI. Oh, well, I've had 4 kids. Oh, okay, well, we'll deduct 2 points for the kids, Crystal, okay? Oh, but I eat really healthy. Oh, well, we better take another point off, Crystal, because you eat healthy. It doesn't fucking matter. When your BMI says it's high, it's fucking high, okay? I get the charts, but obviously that machine's a little bit different. So I'll just read this. She needs to get over her extremely low worth ass. Does my basic BMI say I'm overweight? Yep. Am I? Nope. I'm muscular. I don't give a fuck about a BMI. Exactly. I'm the same as you, Holly. Like, I have a high muscle mass. I've always been that way. Always. When I do the BMI chart's off, but when you do the actual test that she did, which is what the gym girl did with her, and you're holding the handlebars and it does like that current, and it can tell you like muscle mass, and it can tell you this, that, and whatever. It just breaks it down so they can be like, okay, well, the BMI shows that you are slightly overweight, but we can see that you're a more muscular person, that you're more hydrated, or this reason or that reason. So it still showed that she was over, but I don't know why she cares. If you're at the point where you're gonna look in the mirror and be like, what, where? Like, make it make sense. Look at me. I'm just curvy. then why are you fucking worried about someone telling you your BMI's over? Like, you already know it's fine. Why do you need someone else to hold your hand and be like, it's okay? Like, I can't believe they had 3 kids. Like, all she wanted was someone to be like, you've had 4 kids. You look so good. Like, I can't believe, I hope I look like you and I have 4 kids. That's what she was going for here. She says, oh, hold on, I'll just read the rest. She's non-confrontational. She's spineless and thinks, she's not non-confrontational. She's spineless and thinks it makes her look better when people fight her battles. Exactly. She used to try and get me to fight her battles all the time. It was ridiculous. And then, like, I would be there and I would fight her battles, be like, oh, no, but this and but that. And, you know, and then I'd work out that she was playing just as bad of a part in it. She just is it's funny because one of her old friends, and I used to always, like, argue with this old friend about her, and she was like, no, you'll understand one day, and she was so fucking right. Like, I wish I had listened, but she had said the same kind of things to me, and I started cottoning on, because once I heard it from that girl, I kept, like, you know, keep your eyes open for it, and I was like, I feel like I'm being manipulated here. But she came on my TikTok, and she's like, you're a fake friend, like, you only talk to me to get, like, the gossip and stuff. And it's like, Crystal, anything you told me, I didn't even fucking post, girl. Like, I only post what other people sent in. If I was to post the things that I knew, it would be a different story. But how am I using it for gossip that I can't fucking post? You know what I mean? It's not going to help me. You know what I mean? That's called a friendship. Like, when you need to vent to someone and they listen to you, that's a friendship. Like, it would make sense if I was actually posting the stuff, but or whatever. He kissed her feet and now she's happy. Did the employer get fired? No. He offered her a year membership free, which we know is probably, he was like, oh, another influencer. Have your free membership, like, boo-hoo. Girl, I was napping and somehow clicked on this live and the phone opened up under my pillow. I just got up, I'm like, who the hell is just talking in my room? I would shit myself. That's actually funny. Check under the bed for an Aussie chick. But wasn't she disagreeable about being asked her medical history? But boo-hoo, you're at a gym, they're doing their job, which is to improve your physical condition. Flattery come from your followers, not them. Right, that's how I'm looking at it. You know, if you're worried... You know, if you're so worried about it, go and see your doctor. Like we said before, see your doctor, get them to measure it, and they can tell you, like, where they think you stand. Like, most people that are, like, slightly overweight, if you're still in good condition everywhere else, your doctor's going to be like, whatever, like, who cares? It's just the fact that this girl is looking at it from a standpoint, like, they're trying to get her to look her best, not just be like, okay, well, you're still healthy, it's fine. They want her to be healthy with, you know, this, I don't know, you know what I mean? You go to the gym, you don't have, when you go and join a gym, you don't join a gym and go, oh, well, like when they say, well, what are you at the gym for? You don't go, oh, working on my fitness. We all know we go to the gym because we want to look fucking hot. That's why we go. And the girl's just trying to give her advice. And it would be painful to be working at a gym and having people come in that were going to argue with you when it's your fucking job. Like, I don't think Crystal's a PT from what I know. This girl is a PT. It's her job. She's been doing this job. And to have someone come and be like, oh, yeah, but I've had kids and I've got fake boobs and I've got this and I've got that. Like, why are you coming in to see me then? Like, you already have it all figured out. You know everything. Like, why are you wasting my time? She says, I was more prone to have health conditions when I wasn't eating because I was trying to fit into a category based off scales and charts. I have turned my life and health around for my children, and to feel shamed then dismissed makes me angry, not only for myself, but for anyone else who walks in there and doesn't fit the acceptable guidelines. Like, it's a fucking guideline it's worldwide, Crystal. She's just trying to help you to get back into those guidelines because they're there for a reason. They're there for health reasons. They're there for an indication of whether we need to, like, start pulling in the way we eat, you know, stuff like that. I don't know. If you're saying this to someone who has 4 kids and has worked out extensively for months, what would you say to someone who hasn't? It's not the way to go about it, and that's the face of your gym. Do better. Okay, so I don't think it should matter. If someone comes in and they're overweight or they're because they eat crap or they're overweight even though they work out hard as fuck, like, it's still, they're overweight. Like, at the end of the day, it's still the same fucking story, right? So I don't know. I understand being self-conscious. I know when we go into gyms and we sign up and we don't, you know, I don't go to a gym to be fluffed by other people. I go there to get the facts, work out, like, where I need to be, where I'm at, where I need to be. I'm not going to argue with the fucking machine that's designed for that. That's just not my thing. But, you know, I know what it's like to feel, like, self-conscious, a little bit insecure. We get it. That's how she is. We're always seeing, you know, her posting stuff about, oh, this was me when I was super skinny, and then this is me now, and she's like trying to like, you know, be that empowering woman, like, you know, I looked really sick there, and I was dealing with this, that, and whatever. I think it was the picture where she had like the brown hair. It was when her and Christian were first together, and she was like, I was struggling mentally here, and like now I'm healthy and whatever. But we know things haven't really changed. You know, I mean, this is more of a way of her saying, well, you know, I've gained weight, but it's because I'm happy. I've gained weight because I'm happy. Like, she's convincing herself, and that, like, I don't think she looks bad. I think she looks fine. Besides the boobs, like, they just look silly. But you can't say you're looking at a Crystal picture from even a couple years back to now. You can tell she's obviously gained weight because she's got more curves. It's not really a big issue. If you like curves, then why are you sitting there arguing this with a gym person? Like, just keep the curves, you know, whatever. I understand, you know, there's a lot of people on the page are like, oh, you know, I would be upset too. But even based on the story that Crystal went off, I still feel like she's overreacting. And I know that's not the whole story. We know that's not the whole story because this is Crystal. But it shits me when people like Caitlin and Crystal will post things of them super skinny. And now they're like curvy. And they're like, oh, this was me when I was depressed and this and that. Like, skinny doesn't mean healthy. Look, I'm so much better now. And they're talking about like how back then that they were... they had all of these mental issues and they were sick and blah, blah, blah. But back then, when they were posting these pictures, they were proud as fuck of those pictures. You know what I mean? So when they lose weight, when they gain weight, they're like, oh, well, before it was an eating disorder. When they lose weight, they're like, oh, look at me. I'm so healthy. I'm in a better mind frame. Like, I'm looking after myself. I'm doing so good. And then they gain a bit of weight and they're like, oh, back then I was depressed and I had anxiety and that's why I was so thin. Like, you're putting out really confusing statements to people. Even unconscious, I'm down for tea. That's good. That's all we need. Kind of mad I missed the beginning of this Crystal live. It was good tea. Well, I will post it. I just have to like finish editing the last one and post that. I have so many subs to do. She's 100% still focusing on the scale and charts if this triggered her. Right, that's exactly right. If she is so convinced that she is at the right BMI and everything's fine and this is where she should be, if she's had 4 kids and she's healthy and doing the right things, she should not be so fucking triggered. She's obviously upset her because this is something she's lost control of or whatever. I will say I joined a gym and I was given that little assessment crap, and the person that did it and cut and dry about me being overweight and all the stuff that comes with it. I was more embarrassed than anything, but that's her freaking job to do it. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, you go in there, you don't want to hear those results, but you need to hear them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you guys do follow the manual page, like I'm looking at it now, and there's a picture of Crystal and she's got the undies like hoiked right up. And, you know, I think all of the pictures we take of ourselves, we can hide this and we can hide that. But you can tell she's obviously a lot more curvy than what she used to be. I can't judge whether it's healthy curves or it's not healthy curves, whatever. Like, really, there's no way to say if you're fat or you're skinny, like if you're healthy or you're unhealthy. You know what I mean? Because I have been super thin before and I've had health implications for being thin. And then, you know, there are people that eat a lot of crap and they have like fatty livers and but they're skinny as hell. Like, it doesn't really... I don't know, but so I can't really say whether or not, you know, this is a healthy or an unhealthy, but, you know, those tests are a good indication. They sort of let you know where you kind of should be at that point, but I don't know. The more I listen to this, the more I'm like, what would she say to her medical provider? If you go in and ask, they can use the same machine and they ask the same questions regarding her weight, etc. I don't think she would. She wouldn't go into it. Could you imagine her blasting the doctor? Like, oh my God, you made me feel fat because you told me I was overweight. They're just reiterating what the machine has said, and it's not a big deal. Is she going to try telling them the same thing, have them attack them? Yeah, exactly. And then she said, I was never meant to be big on social media and tell people this is all, and I tell people all this the time. Yeah, constantly looking for validation and compliments from her followers. Yeah. Just switching them around to fit their fake personas. Yeah, I know. That's the thing that annoys me with Crystal and Caitlin. And it's funny because, like, I know that Crystal didn't really ever like Caitlin and I don't know if it was like a jealousy thing because Caitlin's always, you know, got her stories on everything. But I don't know, because you know how her stories are always on like Facebook and all of these news articles about her, and I thought, oh, maybe it's like a little bit of a jealousy thing, because it does seem like Crystal, that's what she's aiming for. I know Crystal's never been one to like want to get an actual job. Like, I'm not saying OnlyFans and social media aren't jobs, but I mean, she's not one that would ever be seen at like a 9-to-5 job. Like, I think she's always thought she was like above that or something. But it just annoys me that they do this kind of thing for views, and it's always like, oh, my life is so fantastic, but then 3 months down the track, she's like, you'd never have known, but at this time, like, I was going through depression, and I was starving myself, and I was doing all this, and it's like, okay, well, so how do we know? Like, it's just also fake. And I just don't know how you can pretend to be like a genuine person and then do that. Like this, the only reason they do this stuff, like they get into arguments with people, is so they can try and get their views up. That's all. I truly believe that. She posted one of her in the white swimwear. And this is the one I'm talking about, because she's obviously, you can tell in the swimwear, you can tell she's gained weight in the swimwear. I'm not saying it's bad, but if you go and look at the picture, I'll actually take it off this page and I'll post the picture on TWT 5.0, and you can see in the photo why they would say she's slightly overweight. I'm not saying fat, I'm not saying obese, but I can see where she comes in that scale, because she has obviously thickened out a lot on the sides, her legs and stuff like that. And like most of you know, you can gain like 15 kilos and it barely makes a difference. So 15 kilos makes a big difference on like a BMI scale. So yeah, she might look good. You know, like I wouldn't complain having her body or anything. Probably the boobs I would, because I just think they look ridiculous. But if boobs aside, you know, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, it's the end of the world, like I have this body. But I wouldn't sit there and like, I wouldn't try and say, you know, I'm a really thin person or anything. Like, I could tell I probably would be a little bit overweight on the scales. But it's not like it looks bad. It's not like it's unhealthy or anything. It's just the fact of it. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm body shaming in any way. I'm not calling her fat in any way. I'm just trying to say it is evident that she has gained some weight. Like, you can just see it in her hips, her legs and her arms kind of thing. But like, you could, you know, most people can gain a fair bit of weight and it will evenly go over your body. So even like losing 5 kilos, she'd go down that scale. It's not like it's a big deal, but I just feel like she turned it into something completely crazy. And then to try and get this girl in trouble at work. I did once see her at a dentist's office when she worked there. Yeah, she worked at a dental office for, how long was she there for? It wasn't very long. I think she did that, and then she was like, oh, I'm going to be a nurse's assistant or something. I think it was a nurse's assistant, but that didn't last long either. It was in her stories. My God, I just opened my page up and I'm looking at the Allison stuff again. It's like, oh! Allison's butthole. Great. So there was that post where she's like, someone was asking about do you regret getting your breasts done so large, or are you happy with the size? And she's like, my boobs have always been large. I didn't want to lift for multiple reasons, so I chose to get larger implants to fill them back up. And then she shows more pictures. And she says, they asked like why, and she said, just be a personal preference at this time in life. I didn't want the extra healing time or scars, but in the far future when I'm older, I'll do an explant and a lift reduction. She should have just went with that to begin with. She did say that she didn't want to have the scars because it was no good for her OnlyFans career. Oh, here we go. Here's a longer version of the original video.
She said, do you know what this means? And I was like, I know. And I was not rude at all. I was like, I'm very non-confrontational, kind of voice low, feeling a little panicked already. I was like, I know that when I get these readings and I like get on my scale, it says I'm overweight. I was like, but I know that I'm not overweight. Try not to cry. And she said,
she's so dramatic.
And then I like blurted out. I was like, I have big boobs. I have like...
Half of me wonders if maybe she just carries on and escalates this so much to try and get that attention from Christian. So he's like, no, babe, you look great, you look fine, and try and like get his attention back onto her, because I just can't imagine going on about this for so long.
Curves, and then I said I have implants, which I usually want it put out there because I don't want like the front desk or her talking to anyone or people knowing I have implants, because I feel like that puts like another target on my back to like be called a slut or something. I don't know. So I blurted it out and she goes, well, that has nothing to do with the reading. And then she said, do you know that like being overweight can cause problems in the future? She's like, do you want to have high cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes? And I was like, no, but I eat healthy and I work out every day. And she's like, okay, what do you want from me then? And I was like, nothing. They just told me that I could do this. Like, I need to do this when I sign up. She was like, okay, have a nice day then. Oh, what? Would you come at somebody like that who was bigger? Like,
how did she come at her? That's what I don't understand. Like, what? Listen to what she just said. She literally is saying to the girl, like, oh, but this is my reason why this and that. Like, what do you want from me? What do you want? Like, you already, obviously, you know everything. Like, what do you want me to do for you? You know? And then she just literally says to her, well, I'm here because I had to. Like, so, of course, the girl's like, all right, well, have a good day. Like, don't fucking waste my time. And then she's like, would you come at someone? Like, no, she's not coming at you. She's just trying to help you, and you're being sensitive.
You didn't ask how many kids I have. You didn't ask if I've had kids. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to me. And now I'm in a situation where, like, if she did talk or try to play it off like I was rude, or she knows I have implants, and if they're talking at the front desk, it just, as somebody who's extremely non-confrontational, it's not okay. And then to find out she's the freaking general manager of that place, like, I was already so nervous because everyone there and their photos look so fit, and I was like excited too because it seems influencer based, and I was like, maybe this will help me reach my goals and maybe I'll do personal training there, because my personal trainer got kicked out of my old gym. And it's like, to go from being extremely underweight and starving myself to have the self-confidence that I do now. I probably sound so freaking stupid crying right now.
Yeah, she does. It's not this girl's job to work out how sensitive Crystal is, find out what mental health issues she has, and then tiptoe around it. Like, she's got to give her a certain answer. You know, it's just such high maintenance.
But to literally finally just come over that and to feel good in my body and happy and accept that I'm not overweight, even though these scales like say that, and for this to happen, it's just, I walked over to my friend on the treadmill and I was like, I don't feel safe here. I don't feel happy. I was like, I'm trying not to cry. And she's like, all right, let's get Archer. Let's leave. I don't think it's right. You don't know anything about people. Maybe in your assessment, you should get to know them. Maybe if...
Like, she sounds like she's real comfortable in her body. Like, I've just gotten to the point where I'm not starving myself and I'm comfortable in my body and blah, blah, blah. And then she's bawling like a baby because someone's like, well, the scale said you're overweight. And she's carrying on like this. Like, if you're comfortable in your body, you're not going to fucking carry on like a moose on Instagram, are you? You're just going to be like, okay, well, that's fine. Like, you know, you're not going to sit there and argue with the person like, oh, well, that's not true. Like, I know better. You have a personal training degree or whatever the fuck you get for personal training, like a certificate. But, like, I'm going to sit there and argue because I know better, because I'm fucking Crystal, okay? I'm Crystal. Don't you know me? I'm from Instagram. Like, and so everybody knows me.
They've had a kid recently, if they've ever struggled with something with their weight or a mental health condition, before you start saying, like, do you want to have XYZ because you were overweight? It's not fucking right. It's not.
She just added that little bit in there because it's like, just, I don't know. I'm not, like, there were so many people on the page like, oh, I feel sorry for her because I feel this way and I feel that way. I've been overweight before in my life. Like, yeah, it sucked, but I'm not going to fucking blame anyone else for it, and I'm not going to try and single people out or get them fired because of it. I don't know, but there were so many people on the page that were like, oh, you know, I kind of feel sorry for her. I just don't feel it. I just don't have the same empathy for her. It must sting as well for Crystal to have been only considering her OnlyFans career, so she didn't want to get scars or whatever for a boob job because she didn't want it to be unappealing on her OnlyFans, and then to like within months stop doing OnlyFans, so you probably should have just went and done your boob job, and then imagine seeing Holly's boobs and realising that you just got those monstrosity and Holly has these perfect breast implants. Like, that would suck. So this is what she wrote today. Focus on the good. I woke up to a handful of rude comments and messages. Even though the support and kind messages I receive outshine the hate completely, I don't want to spend the day babysitting comments or getting even slightly upset over someone's spiteful words. That being said, I deleted the post again. I generally hate confrontation this much. I was never meant to be on social media. I tell people this all the time. Thank you to everyone who messaged and commented something nice. I'll keep you updated on what I decide to do. Fucking, we don't care. Like, honestly, we do not care. And then she's like just talking about all the house crap that literally no one cares about. And then she posts a picture of herself in the mirror and she's like, not your body, not your business. And this is the picture I was talking about where she's in the white swimwear and she's very curvy in the swimwear. And this is not the normal body that we see on Crystal. Like, well, not normal, but not what we're used to. And yeah, share the outside of her house. Well done, Crystal. That was really clever. But there was another post, and in that post she said that the guy had offered her a 3-year membership because of what she had experienced. Like, how many of you here actually feel sorry for her, and how many of you here are like, oh my God, she's so dramatic? Like, I feel sorry for her for the fact that she does feel badly about her body and she tries so hard to try and cover it. But I mean, this is what happens. Like, if you're having manic episodes, well, if she's having a manic episode, I mean, she did self-diagnose herself, but if you're having manic episodes, surely you would decide it's probably not the time to go and get a breast implant, because you don't want to make that choice based on like you in your manic state. You want to make sure you make the right decision. And I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that, you know, Christian, he was following all those girls with the massive, ridiculous fake boobs. So I kind of feel like he played some part in it. Not that he's like said anything bad about her boobs, but she's obviously seen who he's following and she's like, oh, I have to get big boobs because that's what he's into. Like, when she first started dating Christian and she dyed her hair like almost black, and there was like pictures where I almost thought she was Holly, where you couldn't see her face, and it was almost like she was Holly. She tried so hard. She lost all that weight. She was trying to get to like the same size as what Holly was. And I remember her telling me once that, and I think this is like where one of the obsessions came in with, she was, because their scales, like Christian scales at the house, had Holly's weight in them, and Crystal had like looked it up, like the weight in it, looked it up to see how much she weighed, and was like comparing herself on those scales to what Holly's weight was. You know what I mean? Like, you know when you get the Fitbit scales and you weigh yourself on the scales, and then you can put in whether it's like you or your husband, or sometimes like it comes up with a guest or whatever. They have those scales at Christian's house, and obviously Holly lived in the house beforehand and she'd been weighing herself on there so Crystal could see how much Holly had weighed, because I remember she said something to me about it once. And so I feel like she looked at that and was like, oh my God, like, I'm overweight now, I want to be like Holly. And then, you know, she's going, getting those boobs, and then Holly's went and got these. Holly's boobs are amazing. Like, I would like to get, I was actually meant to get mine done in January, but with all the COVID restrictions, I can't do it because of like some of the rules they have in place. So I had to get a refund on it, and I'll just wait till all the restrictions go away, if they ever do, and then I'll get them done. But, you know, Holly's are so nice. Like, I seen Crystal's and I was like, shit, man. And like, I showed my husband, and my husband's like, I really don't think you should get them done. There's nothing wrong with yours. Keep them. Like, I don't want you ended up with something like that, right? But then Holly got hers, and they look amazing. They look amazing. So it kind of like restored my faith in fake boobs, because I was like, I don't know if I want that. That fucking sucks. I didn't know that, but I would never ever look because I would spiral out of control. Yeah, I know. I feel like you'd definitely be comparing yourself to if you did see those scales. But I mean, this is not really Christian's fault either, because it would be one thing that you would slip your mind. Like, maybe you might delete the naked pictures of her off your computer or something, but, the scale thing would probably slip your mind a bit. And, Christian's been with Holly for so long, and Holly has an amazing body, and they were, gym junkies together, and that was never Crystal. Crystal was never that gym fit person, whereas Crystal and Holly, they had that lifestyle together, and they both, and you can tell by Holly's body that she does some workouts. So, when they've been working out together, they've been eating healthy together, they have that same kind of lifestyle. Holly's a really clean person, and, Matt and Crystal, obviously, we used to see they're not really the cleanest people. They weren't organised like what they are, and then Crystal has come into Christian's life, and, Christian's had this girlfriend that's basically, she does everything that he wants. She was a clean freak, she was this and that, and then Crystal's come from her relationship with Matt, and she's got to fit in and be that clean person, and whereas that was how Holly was naturally, and she was a fitness person, and Crystal's come into this life, and she's decided, well, I want to be a fitness, I want to be that, and she's trying to almost compete with Holly. And I think that's what the problem is with this situation with the partner swaps, because there's beforehand, most of the time you get a new boyfriend and you don't want to know that they've been with people beforehand, you don't want to know that, but it's not waved in your face all the time. If your ex goes and dates someone and then you start dating their ex, obviously that's a bit of a different thing, because not only are you thinking about, well, my husband was with this person beforehand, but your ex is now with that person as well, so it's that double whammy. I don't know if that makes any sense, but if you probably wouldn't experience that if you're a super secure person, but we know that's not really the case here, and there's been a lot of friction between Holly and Crystal. I know that Crystal acts like her and Holly are all besties and stuff now, but that is not really the case. They just sort of play this part for social media. The partner swap still baffles me to this day. It is very weird. It's very strange. I don't know why someone put themselves in that situation. At first, I was oh my God. I was friends with her at the time, and she's oh, you'll never believe this happened. And she said that she went around there and she met him. They kind of hit it off, but he had a girlfriend. And this is the thing. She's oh, he had a girlfriend, so we didn't do anything and whatever. And then later on, 2 weeks later, he broke up with his girlfriend. That was not the fucking case. They were together from the start. She just tells me that story because she wanted me to portray her as this angel. So if I know the truth, and we all know I don't hold back from the truth, even if I like someone, if I have a difference of opinion, I'm gonna say it. I usually say, I'll say it in a nice way, which doesn't matter anyway, because they always respond the same way. But she would tell me all the bad things Holly did. Oh, well, she told me, there's heaps of stuff she told me actually, but they act like they have this great co-parenting thing all together. But there is so much pent up drama from behind, it's not even possible for them to keep a good relationship. When they were first together, and she was oh, he had a girlfriend, so nothing happened. If he had a girlfriend, why were you even going around to his house to begin with? Why were you hanging out with him? Do you not go, oh, okay, well, he was sly behind this girl's back and hooked up with me, and not expect that to happen in the future? And we know that's happened in the future. We know that he did cheat on her later on down the line, and that's why he broke up with her. So I don't know, why I wouldn't, if I met a guy and he was oh, I've got a girlfriend, and something happened, he's going to do the same thing to the next person, which is you, if you end up dating him. So I don't know, but Holly rang Christian's dad and told Christian's dad that Crystal used to be a cam girl. And Holly, this is the thing, everyone thinks, oh, Holly's so innocent because she doesn't do anything on social media, but that girl is a manipulation queen. But she always looks like the better person because she doesn't get on Instagram and tell the whole universe about it and be real petty like everyone else. She just does her stuff on her own. So when Crystal and Christian first got together, Holly rang Christian's girlfriend and was like, do you know why he just broke up with you? Because he's seeing this other girl, right? So that girl knew that Christian had been seeing Crystal. And they were like saying, oh, no, nothing happened till afterwards. But why was he even meeting up with her? If that's the case, like, why you got a man come around to your house and you're drinking wine? Like, why are you going around to a man's house who has a girlfriend and you're drinking wine with him to discuss your ex and his ex? I don't know, it's kind of weird. The partner swaps to back to me. How you get them is how you lose them. That is perfectly said. Exactly. But she also rang Christian's dad and told Christian's dad about how Crystal was a cam girl and this and that, which, I mean, looking back now, it's kind of funny because cam girl was like the least of the worries. Like, and then, you know, Matt and Holly did their chatterbait, My Sister Sucks, with the whole incest, pretending that they were brothers and sisters. So, like, I mean, she is a bit dumb to, like, drag someone else down for doing porn and then doing something a lot worse. I would think that Holly and Matt's porn was a lot worse because, like, that's, you know, with the whole incest stuff. Their entire story is insane. It is so nuts. Yeah, Holly is the last one to talk. She can't say anything. And now she's doing the OnlyFans as well, so I don't even know why she bothered with that. But there was, like, a lot of back and forth friction that didn't go on Instagram. And I do think also there was a point where Matt was trying to get back with Crystal, but it was the same with, because Holly, okay, so allegedly, I'll just say allegedly, but I heard this, like, pretty much straight from this source, but allegedly Holly fell pregnant to Matt before they had the baby that was sick, and her and Matt were, like, fighting, and she went around to Christian's house and was like, you know, if I get an abortion and I leave Matt, will you take me back? So, yeah. But then this baby, like, there was no talk about the baby. It wasn't announced on social media, and obviously either she had a miscarriage or so I don't know. But that's just what I was told, that she went around to Christian's house and was like, if I leave Matt, will you take me back? But also, I think Matt's been playing the same games with Crystal, like a little bit flirty in text messages from time to time. So I don't know. Like, it would not surprise me if they all broke up, if Matt and Crystal got back together. And they'd be like, oh my God, we're meant to be. Like, we've been away for this many years and we're soulmates. Yeah, I there's a lot of things that I think I've forgotten about, and then they come back and I'm like, So I don't know. So take it as you will. That's one of the things, like, she had told me that she met Christian, she really liked him, and then he broke up with his girlfriend for them to be together. But no matter which way you look at it, there's still some kind of cheating going on there, right? Because you don't just break up with your girlfriend and go, I'm going to go and pursue this girl, unless you think you have a chance with that girl, right? So he's broken up with her, and then, yeah, so I don't know. Something might have happened on that first night. Maybe Crystal's telling the truth and it didn't happen, but either way, they're obviously insinuating a relationship because he broke up with his girlfriend to go after Crystal. So, anyways, I think that's pretty much all that I have. I can't find the other screenshot. I've gone through it. It basically just said that she had spoken to the gym guy. He offered her 12 months off of the membership. And then she was saying to him, like, oh, you know, I just don't know if I can take that 12 months because I know that girl works there and, you know, they're probably going to be making fun of me while I'm working out or something like that. Just basically saying that because the girl still works there. Like, are you trying to get the girl fired? Like, is that what you're going for? Like, she tries to intimidate everybody, but she just acts like, oh, I'm so nice. I don't know. It's so hard to even, like, stick to an unbiased opinion right now because I hate when people do this sort of shit. Like, if you have a fight, just deal with it yourself. Oh my God, I just scrolled up and seen the Allison thing again. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I better get back on and start posting all the submissions. But for those that weren't able to join us or they met us halfway through, I will edit this and post it on YouTube. Hopefully at some point today. So, but anyway, I hope you guys have a good night and I will see you on TWT 5.0.